President Macron of France has concluded his friendship tour of Africa, which included meeting with leaders in 4 African nations where he swore Africa would be treated more fair in the future. Was this a genuine gesture of friendship, or is France intending to hold on to the last remnants of their colonial past? Let's talk about it. First, the facts. France and much of the Western world has been losing its hold on Africa in the past decade, as China and Russia have emerged as a major competition for developmental partnerships. As such, President Macron went on his 18th trip to Africa to attempt to solidify ties with the continent. In his speeches, President Macron has promised to engage Africa on more equal footing, promising to restructure trade deals to be more equitable, allowing the African nations to co-manage the French military bases to transition away from the West African franc, and facilitating a transition to a new currency, the ECO, by 2027, and as usual, dangling the carrot of foreign aid to the African leaders. His trip was met with mixed results, facing anti-French protests at each of his stops, as many Africans claim to be tired of being misled by Western promises and patronizing speeches. To be more relatable, President Macron has had photo ops with popular African singers like Fally Ipupa and spoken a softer, more familiar tone in his speech, though he had a faux pas in the Congo where he said, and I quote, "Sorry to say it in such harsh terms, but you have not been able to restore your sovereignty," essentially blaming the African nation of Congo for not being able to run their own country without French guidance. Pauline Ba of the International Crisis Group summarized the French intentions as follows. "Like it or not, Africa will remain important to France. It's not going to withdraw from this continent, though there might be a change in tone." So, why does France care so much about maintaining their position in Africa? 3 main reasons. First is that running the West African franc has been very profitable for the European banks. Second is that by allegedly fostering instability, France has been able to manipulate the various African countries into selling their mineral rights at a steep discount. And most importantly, the West needs to limit the influence of China and Russia. After centuries of exploitation from developmental bank loans, sanctions, and suspected political assassinations, the African nations have found what they think are more reliable partners in Russia and China. These 2 countries are certainly not in Africa for charity, but they are also making much more straightforward infrastructure deals, not pushing Western culture on the African nations, and acting in a respectful manner that does not threaten African autonomy with political intrigue. Western Europe is offering Africa a less abusive relationship, while the competition is offering Africa transformative infrastructure and energy production. President Macron's tour was necessary, but it shows how much the Western world has painted themselves into a corner. It is difficult for me to see the West maintaining close relations with the African continent, no matter how many photo ops the Western leaders have with African celebrities. That is, unless the West can greatly sweeten the deals they offer the Africans. But what do you guys think? Did President Macron sway you with his softer tone and promises of a more fair partnership with Africa? Why or why not? I'll be interested to hear your thoughts. And as always, if this video has provided value to you, give me a like and a follow. That really helps out my channel. Drop a comment and join the discussion, and I'll see you guys on the next video.